What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Next Gen Career Mode. This is episode number 35, and we start today's episode off with a game against Stuttgart here on Christmas Eve. We take them on at home at the Olympia Stadion, and this is in the German Cup as well. We're into the round of 16 now, so we've already matched our objective for this tournament, this competition. The board, of course, want us to reach the Champions League semi-finals, which isn't going to happen. Qualify for the Champions League via a league position in the top 4, which we should be able to do, and also reach the round of 16 of the German Cup. And as you just saw there, we're already in it. So if we win this game, we're into the quarterfinals, and we will be exceeding this objective, which is always quite nice to do. But we did take on Stuttgart, and usually I rest the whole team really. Usually I just play a complete backup side in the German Cup, but I'd like to go quite far, and I'd absolutely love to get to a final of this competition, so it would be great to do that. But unfortunately, despite playing a very strong side, we did concede just 3 minutes in. It was really poor defending by me. You don't need to tell me that. Unfortunately, the number 7 was bobbing and weaving as I came across with my left back Schmelzer. I just got completely turned, and unfortunately the away side did indeed take the lead. So not a good start for us really. As I said, we've already reached around the board wanted us to reach. I'm happy with that, but I'd love to go even further, and this is where we got knocked out last year, so I'd love to go even further. But in the 7th minute here, we try and hit back instantly, and as Schultz crosses the ball in here, Serge Gnabry ends up turning the ball in to make it 1 apiece. So just 6.5 minutes played, and it's already been 2 goals in this game. Serge Gnabry gets what I think is his 2nd goal this season, and I have to say as well, it's a wonderful ball by Schultz, a great drilled cross to the far post. Been doing that a lot on this career mode, and yeah, I have to say as well, the goalkeeper probably should have saved this as well, because Gnabry really didn't do a very good job of turning it in there at the far post, but the goalkeeper can only parry it into his own net, and it's 1 apiece. So glad to be back on level terms. But in the 36th minute here, you see William Carvalho get on the ball and find Hosogai. The Japanese midfielder sprints past his man, he sprints through 3 Stuttgart defenders, rises to slide tackle, gets onto his left foot, gives it to Yashil, and the striker makes it 2-1. So Yashil, who came in on a permanent deal this year, hasn't really had too many chances because of course Lasogga's been an absolute beast, but whenever he has played, he's looked quite good, and he gets another goal here. Fantastic finish, and it is 2-1 to Hertha Berlin as we take the lead for the first time. And yeah, I was very pleased. It was a great finish by Yashil. He's such a clinical finisher in the area. Fantastic finish, and it's 2-1 here, and also nice to see Hosogai just jumping and hovering in thin air there. So yeah, 2-1. And that was it until the 71st minute for another chance. Yashil gets on the ball and finds Hosogai. Those two linking up in this game quite nicely. Schultz gets on the ball and finds our left back Schmelzer. Crosses the ball in towards Lasogga, but his header as well saved by the keeper, and it's cleared away. So from this corner here, the following chance would fall as Schmelzer swings the ball in our left back towards the head of William Carvalho. It's headed across the face of goal. Jonathan Tah strikes it. It's blocked, but it falls to Langkamp, and our centre half really should have made it 3-1, but unfortunately he couldn't hit the target from just a few yards out, and we couldn't extend the lead then. In the 79th minute, you see Maxime get on the ball for Stuttgart. Rounds Langkamp, plays it backwards, and eventually is played in towards the far post, and the number 7 who scored the early goal in this game for Stuttgart heads the ball straight to Ter Stegen, and it's still 2-1. As the game's being closed out here, one of the final few chances would fall in the 84th minute as Hosogai collects the ball from the Ter Stegen goal kick, finds our right back Da Costa, gets past his man with a fake shot, gives it back to Hosogai. Hosogai gives it to William Carvalho, then out wide towards Schmelzer, our left back. Schmelzer takes on his man, he's got the pace, but he rolls it off to Schultz instead. Schultz then plays it back to Schmelzer, then Schmelzer plays it back to, no he doesn't, he crosses the ball in towards the shield. It's cleared away, but Marcos Rocha, he volleys it, then it's saved by the goalkeeper, then it comes back to him. His second shot is saved by the goalkeeper, and eventually the keeper dives on the ball to keep the score at 2-1 and keep themselves in the game, but really they didn't threaten. And in the 90th minute here, we could have wrapped the game off. Zelalem gets played forward here, rounds the last man, but unfortunately I messed up the finish, and the shot goes harmlessly wide. I put way too much power on that shot there was no need for that, but yeah, 2-1 the final score. We are through to the quarterfinals of the German Cup. That's fantastic news for us, because even though we could have gone out there and the board would still have been happy with our progress, I would like to go even further. It would be fantastic if we could go all the way to the final of this competition, and yeah, I was very pleased to win it. And like I say, good to see 2 sort of reserve / bench players scoring the goals of the game as well, even though we did start a strong side. Yashil and Gnabry got the goals, and that was nice to see. So we're through to the quarterfinals, and that is great. But as you can see there, we've got 106 grand for qualifying, and also we've got 2 player conversations, and one was from Camdal, one was from Sigurdsson. They both said the exact same thing though, so I'd imagine they sort of copy and pasted the email. They sort of CC'd themselves and then copy and pasted the email. But yeah, both Sigurdsson and Camdal aren't happy with their roles at the club, which makes no sense to me, because you know Camdal didn't even get a squad status, and Sigurdsson is always a first team player, so I don't really understand that. But there you go. But Hummels is obviously a wanted man, and Jurgen Klopp says he's not going to let go of him for £37.5 million, and that's kind of annoying. But there you go. And also John Anthony Brooks has come to us here and said, I would like to leave the club. I want you to be the first to know that I've decided to leave. You know I've been unsettled. It's nothing personal. I want you to know that I respect you greatly as a coach. If circumstances have been different, I would have loved to have stayed. I've had a long talk with my agent and we decided it's best if we move on as soon as possible, and he'll be contacting the club to submit a request. I hope you won't stand in my way. So Brooks, it's been a bit of a saga. You know, since signing his new contract in the summer, he still said he wants to leave the club, and now he's finally submitted a transfer request, and it's just before the transfer window opens as well as it opens now. Brooks wants to leave, and I'm absolutely gutted, to be honest, because it's just a real shame. You know, Brooks is 21 years old. He's obviously an American centre-half, 77 overall, and he's just absolutely beastly. 6'4", very good in the air, scores a lot from corners, and it's a real shame because, you know, he's one of these players in this squad that I've looked to develop and keep in this squad and have him as one of my first team players for years and years to come. But unfortunately now he wants to leave, and it looks like we are going to have to sell him because obviously I don't want to see him go on a cut price figure if the board take it out of our hands. But it's a shame, but there you go. It can't be helped, but regardless of such, I've been using the global transfer network behind the scenes to check out the players that have their contracts up at the end of the year. One of them is Ron Roberzila, who I've talked about before, is a very good goalkeeper. Wouldn't mind signing him as a backup for Ter Stegen and possibly provide some competition. Also Sebastian Rode, but I'll say this right now, this player never comes back to us. He never comes back to us. I submit 2 different contracts to this guy, but he never comes back, so keep that in mind. It's a real shame, but I'd like to sign him, but unfortunately not. But also Sydney Sam, the rapid right winger of Bayer Leverkusen, the left-footed player as well. He's out of contract at the end of the year, so I'd like to get him on a free. I asked these players whether they'll take pay cuts, because sometimes they will, but I don't think they will. And we'll wait and see what they say regardless. So bids in for Sam, Ron Roberzila, and also Rode, but he never comes back to us anyway, so just keep that in mind. But also here we see that the board have decided they're going to sell John Anthony Brooks. They have taken it out of our own hands, so now unfortunately we have no say over this transfer. Brooks is going to leave the club regardless. We've got no say in it now. The board have taken the matters into their own hands. They're not even going to let me negotiate a deal with any of the clubs. Brooks is going to leave, and there's nothing we can do about it. So because of that, I thought, well, if Brooks is going to leave, I want to get a replacement in now. You know, I want to get him in. Sorry, I want to let him leave the club. Yes, but I want to get a replacement sorted. So that's why I decided to go ahead and put some swap deals in. One for Walscheid, who was a player I really wanted. One for Rudiger of Stuttgart as well, because although these players may be the same overall or possibly lower overall than Brooks, I'd much rather get a replacement in straight away, because obviously with the board deciding they can sell Brooks, that means that if the board want to, they could possibly accept like a £1 to £2 million bid for Brooks. And anyone that's played career mode that knows this, when the board take a transfer request out of your hands, they will often sell the player for about half the price he's valued at. Brooks is valued at about £3.3 to £3.7 million in total, so that means the board could sell him for less than £2 million, and that's a real joke. So because of that, I'm going to try and sell him before the board get a chance to, you know, just basically put a middle finger to the board and say, hey, you want to sell my player? Fine, we'll let him go. We're doing it on my terms. So with that in mind, we put in loads of bids for players such as Huberdes and this guy whose name I can't pronounce, so I'll just call him Robin, and Mustafi and Walscheid and Rudiger. And as you can see here, straight away the clubs are going to be circling like sharks for John Anthony Brooks. They know they can get him for a cut price figure, so Borussia Mönchengladbach come in for him here and say, we'll take him for £4.6 million please. I say give us £8 million please, and we'll wait and see what they say. And also a bid came in for Sigurdsson. It was Werder Bremen for £9 million. Not a bad profit that would be of £7 million if we decide to sell him, but of course we said no because he's a monster. Following that though, a bid came in for Parlac, one of our reserve centre-halves. We said to Nice, the French club, you can take him for his valuation at 625 grand. Of course we signed him for free at the start of the series, but he never really played that much. But Borussia Mönchengladbach say they will offer us £6.5 million for Brooks, which isn't that bad. It's not a bad deal. I was thinking about accepting it because obviously he is a very talented centre-half, but you know, as the board have taken it into their own hands now, he could leave for about £1 to £2 million. So we'll wait and see what they say. We stalled it for the time being, but Ron Roberzila says he won't go lower than 35 grand a week. We are going to sign him. We ask for a five grand a week pay cut, and we'll wait and see what the Hanover goalkeeper says. But I'm perfectly happy paying the extra 5 grand a week. But it's just bartering for the time being. And also Ginter, our captain, currently on the injury list, says he wants a new contract. But we just tell him to wait for the time being, and we'll wait until he's back fit. But also Sydney Sam says he won't accept a deal lower than 60 grand. So we ask for 55 grand, and we'll wait and see what they say. Just bartering flattering, although they probably won't take these pay cuts. We'll just buy it for the time being and wait and see what they say. And also Frankfurt said the bid for Jung was unacceptable, and also we saw some accepts for Mustafi and Rudiger, but I'm not sure whether we will accept these. We'll just have to wait for the time being. But as always guys, big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of my Next Gen Career Mode very soon.